low post, mid post, high post, Postgame Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in and welcome back to another edition of Postgame Sports. You know how we do it. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We working. And I got a very special guest with me this evening. One of my boys, one of my homeboys from all the way back to elementary school. Always been a Notre Dame fan, always been a stand-up dude, always been doing great things for the community. Mr. Duke, how you doing this evening, homie?
How you doing, sir? I just want to say, man, it's a blessing to be on the podcast. I see you doing great things. You've always been an astute fan of the game, a good man, good family man. Um, and your personal life and your professional life, you've always exemplified great character. And it's a pleasure being on this podcast with you, man, to talk some fighting Irish.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate that big time, man. That means a lot to me coming from a guy like you. We got Corey Boyd in the house. We just waiting on him to jump on. He'll be on any second now. But man, just let the people know, man. How long have you been a Notre Dame fan?
Man, I've been a Notre Dame fan since I can remember, growing up on campus. They used to run an NYSP program, which is the National Youth Sports Program. So, coming from the projects, they used to come to the community and pick up, at-risk youth kids like me, and we used to do sports camps during the Bob Davie era. So Bob Davie and Archie Denson used to do football camps with us. Um, and I remember Mr. Jordan, I was a knucklehead. So long story short, he took me under his wing. And whenever I got in trouble, he used to have me running laps around the whole campus next to his golf cart. So, just that's how deep it was. And I became a Notre Dame fan through that program where the university reached out and helped kids like me get through and make it. So, uh, that was my first time I went to a game was against Texas A&M. So that's what it is. Been a
Yes,
fan
sir.
ever since.
Yes,
Hmm.
sir. Yes, sir. Definitely an astute fan, as you said earlier. Shout out to Matt Seuss in the chat. He said CB late as usual. Man, we gonna find him tonight, homie. He getting fined for this, for sure. We in them pockets. So tell how excited are you about this season, man?
I'm very excited. What Coach Freeman has done for this program and seeing how the alumni and the administration supporting him. I mean, good Lord. I'm so excited. And we also get to see the fruits of the new investments in the football facilities. I've always said that we've needed to update those facilities. Notre Dame has been very successful with low end facilities, low end resource investments. Now we have the facilities that can compete with the best of the best. We're at the forefront of NIL. And so I think those investments is going to shine through and be displayed through the talent. So I'm very excited. I don't think I've been this excited in so long. We're back to championship or bust expectations.
Already. Man, shout out to Ruben Blad in the chat. He said, Big
Rude.
Duke, how you
Hey
doing
man.
tonight, homie? Yes,
Man,
sir.
yes. Yes, one of the greatest tailgate bros of all time. He in the tailgating Hall of Fame.
That's a
He in the
fact.
tail Yes, man. We got stories we're gonna keep offline, but man, we got so many great legendary stories tailgating, man. Shout out to him and Seuss, man.
Yes, sir. And man, shout out to the homie, Carl Daniels.
Carl
He said he
Daniels.
tuned in. We appreciate you, dog. Salute to you.
Salute to you, big dog.
Masu says, Ruben, go Irish MSU tailgate. Everyone is invited. Can't wait for that, homie.
Oh yeah, about to pull
Rue
up.
said, you guys keep doing your thing. Well, man, I'm not gonna hold the people up. I know what y'all came in here for, and we gonna get right into it. So, Duke, ND 2025 left out of the college football playoffs. And my question to you is, should they have been left off? And will this put a hold on, man? Shout out to the homie
Made
Corey.
it.
Boy, what it do, man?
Not much, man. Just busy day. So I apologize.
Yeah. No apologies needed,
You
man.
good,
We
bro?
just happy that you all here. And
Mm.
listen, if they invited me to a debate team and I got to bring two other Notre Dame fans with me, this is the debate team right here. Straight up, we not losing to no
We
other
not
fan base.
we not taking no
Nah.
L's, man.
Nah.
Mm-mm.
Corey, man. I'm so excited to see y'all. This is so dope. We got the homies in the chat. We got Ruben Blad. We got Matt Seuss.
It's for
We
the
got
killer
Carl,
bees.
the Killer Bee. we got Carl Daniels. Oh my goodness, man. We got the Chicks Dig the Irish. Salute to you, homie. I watched your live earlier. I appreciate you being here, my man. But I mean, I wanted to get right into it, if that's okay with y'all. And I'm gonna start with you on this, Duke. So we're gonna pick up where we left off at. 2025, the Irish left out of the playoffs. And my question to you, Duke, is should they have been left out? And will this put a chip on their shoulder?
Um, Absolutely, we should not have been left out of the playoffs. When you have a situation where, of course, you got the two G5 schools that's automatically in, I feel like the media tried to backdoor and cancel Notre Dame out for financial reasons with them and the NIL and being an independent. It was all politics. When you look at Alabama's resume and how they've lost so many games, and then you see how they get held to what -2 yards rushing in the SEC championship, they got completely dominated in their championship game. They tried to make it seem like it was us versus Miami of getting in when really it should have been between us and Alabama. And I mean, when you have guys like Urban Meyer and Nick Saban, when you got guys like that that's saying we should have been in, you can't tell me we was not one of the best 12 teams in the country. And so we absolutely got robbed. We should have been in, and I think we're gonna make everyone pay for that.
No doubt about that, man. Shout out to Ruben back in the chat. He said, gotta leave no doubt that they name a starter at RB. I think it's gonna be Aeneas, but we
Mm-hmm.
gonna get to the running backs. Hold that thought, Rube. Shout out to man, I don't even want to butcher your name, sir, but how you doing tonight? CB, same question, my man. Should Notre Dame have been in the playoffs in 2025, and will this put a chip on their shoulder?
100%. They shouldn't have. They shouldn't have been left out. To me, it was all political. Like I hate to play that angle because everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, Notre Dame, you're not in a conference, you don't deserve it." But no, like it was like if you look back, they were the ACC was playing Miami versus Notre Dame 24 to 48 hours straight before, so that way they could leave that fresh in everybody's mind that they won. But I'll just to kind of go off of what Brandon said. They, I kind of knew I knew something was up when Alabama like should have lost to Auburn. Like once I saw that they beat Auburn, I was like, I got a bad feeling about this because I was like, if Alabama loses, I'm not worried at all. But but yeah, so like to me that had a huge impact on that, and I don't think that they should have been left out because I mean, yes, we weren't playing the greatest teams at the end, but we're doing what we should have been doing. Like if you're that good of a team, we're beating teams by like 70, 60, 50, 40 points like each game. So and then to finish off the question, you said, will it have an impact this year? Absolutely. Like if you watched, I mean, you could just see it in Freeman's face when they got left out. He was just sitting there like in shock. So, and then the first thing he kind of was like, leave no doubt. And like, that's all I've heard since then. So, I think they're going to have a massive chip on their shoulder. Their schedule calls for like belt to ass every game, so it should be that way. But we'll get to that later.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Those are some great takes, fellas. I definitely believe Notre Dame should have been in. Look, yes, we lost to A&M and Miami the first 2 games of the year. The two best teams on the schedule, no doubt about that. But we lost those games by a combined 4 points. Definitely shouldn't have lost to A&M. I think they blew a call. We blew a field goal kick or an extra point.
The holding at the end.
Oh my goodness. So, but then they run off 10 straight. And I don't care what level of football you're on. I don't care who it is. 10 straight wins in that fashion is impressive as hell.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Mr. Yates. They need to be in a conference. They play too many patsies. That's hilarious. Shout out to SEC. Don't worry.
Same song and dance every year. But yet there's a couple SEC schools that have a more cupcake schedule than Notre Dame. But we're not going to talk about that.
For sure. Shout out to SEC Shine. He said, don't worry, y'all don't play my Aggies this year. And I'm glad about that. For sure, for sure. And then Chicks dig the Irish. Besides starting off 0-2, what screwed Notre Dame is Oklahoma beating Alabama in the regular season. They got both of them in. Plus the ACC not sending Miami to the conference championship game. I can dig that.
They were third in their conference, but yet they want to bang this going. You need to be in a conference. You need to be in a conference. But yet the third place team made the playoff in their conference.
I mean, they completely undermined the importance of having a conference in the first place. And to expound on that further, it boils down to jealousy. If any school had the fan base and the alumni and the resources that Notre Dame had, they would be independent too. Let's just be honest right here. The bottom line is we don't need a conference. Conferences is going to be obsolete in the next 10, 20 years anyway. It's just we're the best at it. They don't want to have that conversation.
In 31.
Man, yep. Talk to him. Yeah. Because I already barbecued and crispified these guys on YouTube talking about a conference, man. Go check that video out if y'all haven't. But man, it gotta be nothing but jealousy because they keep saying the same stupid thing over and over again.
Duke should have been in, right? Duke University, didn't they win the ACC?
If that's the standards, if only
Duke should have been in, Miami should have been out. If that's what we go by.
And the first year Notre Dame didn't play in a conference. Ohio State didn't win the the Big Ten, and they're in the national championship. And then Miami was in the national championship. They didn't win their conference. So why do conferences matter? Like if teams that are actually going to the national championship don't even win their conference.
Talk to them.
Yeah.
Shout out. Go ahead, Duke.
No. I was gonna say to me, it just sounds like laziness. They want their cake and eat it too. They want the benefits of a conference doing the leg work, but they don't want to get out here and put boots to ground like Notre Dame has.
They want the money that Notre Dame brings in, but yet they don't want to play them every year. If you don't want Notre Dame in the national or in the playoffs, then schedule them, beat them, so then they don't make it.
Talk to
Bingo.
But shout no, they don't want to schedule them.
They sure don't, man. We seen that all summer. Shout out to Carl Daniels. He said, "Can't wait for the season to start." I'm with you on that, bro. In the chat, he said Miami, I don't think has won the ACC since 2010. 10.
Mm.
Wowzers.
Let's not forget they dropped their game to SMU.
Yeah,
No
they
one
lost.
wants to
They
talk
lost to
about
two
that.
teams. They lost to two teams that weren't even ranked.
That wasn't even ranked. Louisville and SMU. You know,
Facts. Facts.
but God forbid we have SMU on our schedule, and I guess that's a cupcake.
Yeah,
They beat the runner up, for the national championship. So pick and choose. What is it going to be?
yeah.
Crazy.
It's whatever narrative fits. It's whatever fits their narrative.
All facts, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. So let's move on to our coach, because I remember talking to the both of y'all when Marcus Freeman was hired, and everybody was pumped about it. We all thought they made the right move. I'm so happy they didn't pick Luke Fickell, as he's been struggling at Wisconsin as of late. And we got them the first game of the season, but we'll get to that. So,
Real
CB, I'm gonna
quick,
start with you.
real quick to go off of Ruben.
Yeah.
Miami has never won the ACC title.
Whoa. That's what
I'm just fact checking it. They joined in 04. Their closest opportunity was in 25. It says they went 10-2 in the regular season, but missed the ACC championship playoff game on a tiebreaker. So the answer is no.
Unbelievable.
Their last championship was 2001 when they won the Big East.
That's what Chicks Dig Irish just pointed out. He said Miami has never won the ACC. Actually, last time they won a conference championship was the Big East. Bro, the Big East been gone for so long. I think we was still in like middle or high school.
Yeah.
We was in high school.
Yeah.
Extinct.
That's crazy work.
That was like, yeah.
I mean, they ain't won a conference since an extinct conference, man. That's insane, bro.
No,
what are we talking about?
That conference does exist, but it's basketball only, and there's only like a couple teams, I think.
Yeah, the football conference is nothing but bones. You gotta dig those up.
Insanity.
Yeah.
But let's move on, man. So Marcus Freeman, like I was saying, we were all pumped about the hire of Marcus Freeman over Luke Fickell and guys like that. So I'm gonna start with you on this question, CB. Has Marcus Freeman exceeded your expectations as the head football coach, and where, if anywhere, can he improve?
I think he has exceeded my expectations, because I was nervous when, like, they hired him only because he had no head coach experience. Not like that's that big of a deal, but we all know that Notre Dame is different. So that's what made me like slightly nervous. But once I started seeing all these recruits that he was bringing in, I was like, oh, we're straight. I mean, yes, he struggled the first couple games like of his tenure, but those days are long gone, and I don't think they're coming back anytime soon. Like this is a way different team. And
yeah, that was kind of expected, right? His early season struggles. Yeah.
What was the second part of the? Oh, I'd say any weakness. I don't even want to say it's like really a weakness. To me, it's just getting over the hump of winning a national championship. Like you've gotten a taste of it. Let's get a national championship and then just keep rolling from there.
100%. And before I go to you, Duke, I like to call Marcus Freeman Soul Glow, man. I like to call Freeman Soul Glow. Shout out to Coach Freeman. So, Duke.
Yes, sir.
Has Marcus Freeman exceeded your expectations? And where do you think, if any, he needs to improve?
First question, I'm going to say he's exactly where I anticipated him to be. Anyone that knows me know the day that he walked into that locker room when he accepted the job and those players hugged him, I knew we were eventually going to be successful. Marcus Freeman came at the perfect time where we needed someone who was more tailored to the direction NIL, a lot of the media and marketing and the money. He's perfect. He's the perfect recipe for what we need to do moving into the future. So I knew he was going to do all of this. Anybody that knows me know that I've been Marcus Freeman since day one. If I had to say an area of improvement, I think the only thing left for him to improve is the ground roots recruiting at that boundary receiver position. Um, we need to be able to improve recruiting that particular type of receiver. We went to the portal, got the Malachi Fields, got the Bo Collins and stuff. We went to the portal to get the Quincy Porter. Now we need to start getting some of those kinds of guys in recruiting. We're good at getting the shorter guy, the explosive guy, but we need that boundary guy to come in that can dominate, maybe like a 5 star, because we're getting 5 stars at every other position group. That's the only critique if I'm pulling, picking hairs or whatnot.
Yeah.
So yeah.
100%. I agree with y'all. And like I said, I was ecstatic when Freeman was hired. I knew he would be successful. I think y'all both had that same feeling. But I want to see him dominate the month of September because let's face it, fellas, he's had some ugly losses in the month of September, even at home. I think he's going to get over that hump this season. That remains to be seen. And just winning the national championship. I think that's all that's left to do for Marcus Freeman in his career at Notre Dame. I'm hoping he stays until 2040 and gets a statue and all that, gets multiple championships, brings multiple championships to Notre Dame. But I think so far, all he has to do is prove he can keep his team focused and not be upset early in September and ultimately get us that national championship. Any closing thoughts on this?
Real quick, I want to add that I totally agree with you, but I no longer have that concern because based on what I can remember, this is the first time where he's coming into the season already stable at the quarterback position. When you
Facts.
look at when Riley Leonard came in, I think he was injured most of the offseason. And so he
Mhm.
had some catching up to do on the fly. So we started off slow with that. Last year, CJ Carr, first game ever at Miami, night game, as a freshman, and then turn around and play a good Texas A&M team. That's kind of difficult. You go before that, you got the Drew Pines and the Buckners. He never really had true stability at the quarterback position starting the season. And so it's going to be, I think that's going to be corrected going into this season.
He did have Hartman. I think that was
Yeah,
his first year,
Hartman. Yeah,
but I don't think the receivers were that good. Like
yeah.
it. That's why I think he got rid of the guy from Clemson. I can't Chancey Stuckey because you'd see Hartman just like holding the ball and you're like, come on man, let it rip. But then you watch tape and you're like, these dudes ain't open.
They're not
Yeah.
getting open.
Yeah, y'all bring us
Yeah.
some really great points, man. And again, that's a great segue for the next topic because we're gonna get into these quarterbacks at the University of Notre Dame. And y'all see I got the depth chart pulled up on the screen for y'all to view. So, and I'm gonna start with you on this question, Duke. What are your expectations for CJ Carr? Second year under Mike Denbrock. He got that experience as a starter last season. What are your expectations for QB1 this year?
Definitely in the Heisman Trophy conversation. I believe we're going to have an improved offensive line. We have a stable of backs, and most importantly, we have a very deep receiving core. When you bring in multiple 5 star recruits and you pair them up with Jordan Faison, who's now dedicating his full time to football, this man has been torching DBs and torching college football, uh training part-time, cross training between two sports. Now 100% focused on football, so he's going to be a monster. The great house, who is healthy, looking good in camp. He has a plethora of weapons, elite offensive line. I'm excited about Ian Premer, who Denbrock referred to as a freak of nature. Our offense coordinator Denbrock don't give compliments that often. He very rarely gives compliments. And so when you have that kind of firepower in year two in the offense, you go out there and you're the MVP of the Manning Passing Academy. You're outshining the best quarterbacks in the country. I mean, anything short of a Heisman Trophy candidate is a disappointment.
Okay, so who do you what and I'm gonna come to you, CB, but Duke, I want to know who's gonna be QB2. I know Marcus Freeman said in a press conference that the guy who's QB2 to start the season may not necessarily be the guy week 6. Who you think ultimately is QB2 for the season?
That's tough. I'm I would have to say, is it Gerard? I think right now he's probably going to be in the lead due to seniority. Or no, not Gerard. Who's the other the quarterback that's always been here?
Hebert.
Is it Blake Hebert?
Blake Hebert, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now Blake Hebert got it because of seniority, familiarity, year two, stuff like that. But I think Teddy Gerard, if once he gets the offense down packed,
Yeah.
I believe he's going to eventually get that number 2 spot.
CB, man, what are your expectations for CJ Carr this upcoming season?
Really not too much different than Duke. So I can't really add like any flavor to it, but I think he'll be in the top 3 for the Heisman. I don't necessarily know if he'll win it, um, but I do think that anything less than that would be a disappointment, like Brandon said. And then I think that because if I remember right, it was Hebert that was playing well in the blue and gold game. I remember we were sitting there and I joked with you, Rashawn. I was like, hey, we got a quarterback controversy.
Yeah.
but he was playing well. Like I obviously it was a joke, but like yeah, I thought he played well. To me, he looked like a big version of Aaron Rodgers. Just the way like his release, like he looked a lot like Aaron Rodgers to me.
Ooh, that's a very good breakdown, man. I expect fireworks from CJ Carr this upcoming season. And simply it's like y'all said, like when was the last time we had a returning starter at quarterback? Second year under Mike Denbrock.
Is it Ian Book?
It's been that long? Like really?
I think so.
And it
Yep.
should. I think this is the first time Marcus. I think one of y'all said it. This is the first time Marcus Freeman has ever had a returning starter at
Mm-hmm.
quarterback
Mhm.
and a homegrown quarterback at that. So I'm extremely excited. I think CJ Carr is going to barbecue this year. And like Brandon mentioned, him winning MVP at the Manning Passing Academy, like I think that speak volumes. Because you think about all the quarterbacks he was there competing against some of the best quarterbacks in the nation. And you heard the praise from Tom Brady. I believe Tom Brady
Oh yeah,
last year
that's a good
said
quote.
he was the best quarterback in college. So I couldn't be more excited. But let me ask y'all this: if CJ Carr does win the Heisman, what do you think that takes? What kind of season must he have, like statistically?
Yeah, I think he would. Anything involved Notre Dame winning anything, you're gonna have to take the leave no doubt approach, because history shows that if they can slight us when it comes to rewards, recruiting rankings or anything of the such, they're going to give it to someone else. For example, I know a lot of people may disagree with me, but I think Manti Te'o should have got the Heisman over Johnny Manziel. So I think CJ Carr is going to have to win emphatically in order to get the Heisman. If there's another quarterback that's neck and neck with him and they're in a conference and you see how they manipulate the networks and the votes, and I could see them snubbing him on the Heisman. He has to be decisive and definitive in winning that award. That's my opinion.
No doubt about that. Shout out to Time in the chat, man. Salute to you, homie. I appreciate you being here. Corey, any thoughts on that?
No, no, I'm just kidding. No, like, no, I think that he will have to. I don't want to say Tim Tebow or Joe Burrow it, but it's got to be something wild. But the only thing is just being realistic. Like I don't know like other I haven't seen Porter and Milan Graham like play other than the spring game, but like he's got to have good weapons around him too to help get these numbers because he's not going to run. He's not a running quarterback. So that's to me the only thing that might damper some of his numbers. Like obviously like somebody like Cam Newton or Johnny Manziel, they could rush and they can pass, and that really helps out. But he's gonna have to light it up. And like I said, obviously they are 5 stars and they should be really good, but let's see. Like I'm excited to see like what they do.
Yeah, definitely. Me too, man. Shout out to Brian Kelly, man.
No.
No shots out to Brian Kelly, then.
Take
man.
it back. Take it back.
I'll take it back. Shout out to Marcus Freeman. Seuss in the chat, he said we need Greyhouse to stay healthy. That's interesting because we gonna get to him, and I've been hearing some encouraging things about Jaden Greyhouse that excites me.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Time back in the chat, he said my brother is right about Johnny Manziel winning that Heisman Trophy. Anytime they can take it away from Notre Dame players, they will. National media will. I agree with that. And Time said battling Notre Dame players has to be outstanding in order to win that Heisman. So let me ask y'all, when it comes to CJ Carr, like what do you think? What's a number when you think about touchdown passes, yards? What kind of numbers would he need to just blow the voters away and solidify that Heisman Trophy?
And real quick, I'm just doing some fact checking. Like, think about when Troy Smith beat out Brady Quinn. Brady Quinn had better numbers than him. He had more touchdowns, only one more pick, and he had 89 or 85 more completions, and almost 1,000 more yards than him. So
yes,
he's gonna have to have, I don't know, 40, 45 touchdowns.
and just to add to what you guys are saying, the Heisman voting, they pick and choose. It's more of an agenda-based award than anything. We watched Mendoza winning it last year, but look at his numbers.
Yeah.
So they pick and choose. I think in order for him to win the Heisman, he gonna have to have one of those touchdown to interception ratios like 40-5 and 5. He gonna have to do something crazy like Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
I thought if I remember correctly, one of Ian Book's years, he had better stats than Mendoza did last year for winning the national championship. Or not winning the Heisman.
Yeah.
You know what? I have forgot all about that Heisman year. Was it Troy Smith and Brady Quinn?
Brady Quinn, yeah.
Yep.
I forgot all about that, man.
Yeah, I was mad because I wanted Quinn to be on the cover of college football.
Yep.
For sure. Hey, shout out to Ruben Blad. He said, man, he's got to go. He's got to. I'm sorry. Yeah, he do. He gotta. But let me ask y'all this before we move on. Do you think Notre Dame has that type of offense to where CJ Carr is going to cook like that to get a Heisman Trophy?
Yes. If Quincy Porter turned into what we want him to be, that elite 5-star barrier player, and then with all of the guys that can do everything in between, Great House and Faison and Mylan Graham, you know what I mean, and throw in Ian Premer, some Flanagan. Like if everybody is popping off at the same time with an elite offensive line, don't forget Aeneas Williams is a receiving threat.
Facts.
It's just too many weapons, bro. There's no, from a talent and depth standpoint, he can win the Heisman. It's just a matter of him going out and doing it and staying healthy.
Facts.
I think that I think that the schedule, I'm not saying we have a cake schedule because there's other teams that have more cake, but I think our schedule allows us would allow for him to cook like that too.
Yeah.
I agree. Man, shout out to Masseuse in the chat. He said Mendoza wasn't even the best player on his team.
The wide receiver was.
Facts. Talk to him, Seuss.
He still got it.
Man, still got it. Jeremiah
Shout-
Love should have won the Heisman, man. Let's just put it out there.
I agree with that. Shout out to Time. He said Brady Quinn got robbed. See, this is why we don't need ESPN, all those
For real,
other sports
facts.
news, because they
Man,
get paid to start narratives and cause chaos. Carl Daniels in the chat. He
Because
said,
they
yes.
get paid. ESPN gets paid for, I think it's 4 or 5 million per SEC and ACC. No, not SEC, ACC team in. So naturally, they want a return on their investment because they spent like what 1.2 billion or something like that to have the rights of the college football committee. So if they do, then aren't they putting their own people in there
Right.
that
It's,
yeah.
that can make these shots or make these calls?
it's really common sense, man. But
Yeah,
people,
if you follow the money, follow the money. That's all. That's all you have to do.
yeah,
Yeah.
people are
Sorry,
so
cut you off.
ignorant, man. No, you good, bro. I want y'all to cook, man. This show is for y'all to show the people on YouTube who you know who I be chopping it up with on a regular basis. But shout out the Time back in the chat. How to get rid of Notre Dame? They always have a solid offensive line. I keep telling people if you have a decent offensive line, especially in college, you will be okay. Yes, sir. Yes,
Facts.
sir. Yes, sir.
Facts.
So let's move along. Well, first of all, fellas, man, this is like who wants some of this, man?
Not USC.
who
Mm.
who wants some of this?
Not USC.
Who else wants some of Debo?
Hey, throw Texas in there too. You know, they trying to back out. Indiana backing out.
Yeah.
If Notre Dame was bad, no one would care about our
Oh
independence.
yeah.
Talk to him.
Period. No one would care. It's the fact that we're a threat.
And you know what, Duke? When we finally win that natty, that's what I want to see, man. I want to see everybody's reaction to that, especially opposing fan bases. Because if
Man, they
y'all
going
mad now, they mad
Oh
now.
yeah.
Wait till Marcus
man,
Freeman get the natty, man.
man. If we get a natty, they gonna do a lockdown.
Yeah.
They gonna lock down. They're gonna be like, hey, we gotta. They don't want that to happen.
Who else wants
Straight
some of
up.
Freeman? Who else
Who
wants
else
some of
wants some
Freeman?
facts?
Well, who's Summer Freeman?
Facts.
Shout out the Time, man. He said, my pops always said, follow the money. It's not corrupt
Mm.
people are corrupt. Just follow the money. That's a fact, man. But let's move on to the next question I got for y'all. The running back room, I'm sorry. And I'm going to start with you on this, CB. What do you think the running back room is going to look like? How you think that's going to shake out? And who do you think are the main guys in this running back room? Or do you think it's one guy?
I think it'll be pretty comparable to last year because I feel like that's kind of the type of backfield that they're running where somebody gets most of the carries and then your secondary gets like 30% and then you have like who Aeneas Williams has been like 5% or at the end of the game, or just situational. But I think that obviously I'm not too worried, to be honest with you. I mean, yes, there's going to be a fall off because you're losing two running backs that were from in your backfield that were first round picks. So obviously, like there's going to be some hurt, and people are like, well, why? There's not like last year. Like, yeah, they're not. It's not the same guy. But I do think that I'm fine with Aeneas Williams. Like every time he got in, I mean, yeah, if he was playing, kind of coming in like before halftime or whatever, he still produced. So it's not like he's a slouch. So again, like I think he'll get the bulk of the call or the bulk of the carries, and you're gonna get Nolan James is gonna be like the Jadarian Price, where he's gonna get a lot of carries too. So that's kind of my take on that.
How about you, Duke? How you see this running back room shaking out?
I see Aeneas Williams starting, and I see Keidron Young really stepping into that two role. I was watching some film when he played against I think it was at Navy 2 years ago, and how he battered that defense. If he comes back fully healthy, I mean that 1-2 punch is brutal. And then Nolan James, and then I also heard them talking about Walton, and they was saying they got to figure out a way to get that kid on the field. They say he has the home run speed of the two guys we just lost in the draft.
Nasty.
So, I mean, the sky's the limit, but I'm really big on Keedron Young stepping back in for sure.
Yeah, I like what I've been hearing about Keedron. I think Aeneas is gonna get the first crack at RB1 this year. And one of the things I know we were all at the blue and gold game. One of the things I found interesting was they were lining Aeneas Williams out wide and in the slot. And when I'm watching, I'm like, man, he doesn't like. If I didn't know he was Aeneas Williams, I would think he was a wide receiver. Like that's how good I think he can be at catching the ball. But I like this whole entire room. A lot of people think, yes, we lost a freak in Love and Price, both freaks. We lost them, but how many teams have lost great running backs and then here comes the next guy or the next two guys? So
think of Alabama in the 2010s. It seemed like they always had a top, like either Heisman Trophy candidate or a top, like a first round pick.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Time back in the chat. He said, I hope you understand why Notre Dame is being treated the way they're being treated is because they are independent. That means you don't have to answer to nobody. Oh, my goodness.
That part.
Man,
that part.
Bro, I feel like Pinky on Friday, man. You
say another word.
Oh, my goodness. But here's the thing, fellas. Isn't the goal to be independent? Those same people complaining about Notre Dame, wouldn't they rather be independent in whatever field they are in? Right?
I've been telling Brandon this for the past couple of years. I'm like, why aren't other teams doing this? Like, where they can just pocket all the money.
It's
like
similar to what I said.
Schools.
Oh no,
I'll let you talk. But that was my thing. Is like, why not? To me, there's more incentive for your big schools to do it.
Yeah.
It's similar to musicians or like rap artists where it's just easier to sign a record label. They handle the distribution, they handle all of the marketing, they handle the producers, the mixing. They do all the grunt work. All you have to do is just perform. Well, Notre Dame does all of the grunt work on its own. So it's not fun being an independent. It's like being an independent contractor. You start your own business, you eat what you kill. And so I think most teams are just too lazy. They're in bed with people who are at these networks, and it's just easier to just sign along with the conference and have them do all of the dirty work for you, and you can just focus on the sport. Notre Dame is doing all of the above with no help other than the alumni. And so that's just laziness, bro.
And another thing is they applied to be in the Big Ten because I want to say like the 20s or 30s or something like that. And schools like Michigan and Penn State were playing politics, didn't want them in there. So then they decided to be independent and haven't looked back. And they haven't applied. I don't think they've applied anywhere else since then. So again,
I did a video on this and I made this analogy because I remember them trying to join the Big Ten. And it's like, you two, y'all start a shoe company. And I come with my idea of a shoe company. And y'all tell me, no, we don't want you to join us. So I create my own shoe company. And it's popping, blowing y'all out of business almost. And then y'all come to me now that I've blown up and say, we want you to join now. Don't work like that.
Especially, that was they had to start scheduling teams like USC and branching out because the schools in the Midwest didn't want to play them anymore.
Facts. Shout out to Seuss in the chat. He said going to be a lot of receptions from the backfield, similar to how they use Darius Walker. And then Time back in the chat, he said WTP Sports, the more that Notre Dame is independent, it's the more that the commentators in the sports, people will keep them out of a bowl and judge them harder than any other team. I agree with that. And he
keep them out of a bowl. Like bowls aren't that big of a deal anymore. Like, and them sitting out last year just proved it. Like it obviously didn't hurt Notre Dame.
Yeah, and to add to that, they weren't the only team that set out the bowl seasons. It's just because we Notre Dame, it was blown up. But time back in the chat, he said, this is why you hear most of those guys on TV always say, oh, Notre Dame needs to be in the conference. For what? You are already being biased towards Notre Dame to the players, no Heisman Trophy. And he said, I think Williams is going to surprise people, and the two other backup guys they got. Just keep an eye on Notre Dame. I'll always keep my eye on Notre Dame. That's a fact. That's a fact. Let's move on, fellas. The wide receiver room, and I'm gonna start with you on this, Duke. Who do you think the guy's gonna be? Like, if CJ Carr had a guy who's gonna be his favorite target out of that wide receiver room, who's that gonna be?
I think Jordan Faison. I think he already has a rapport with him, and like stated earlier, he's now dedicating. He's playing football full time. So I think he's going to further unlock his true potential, like Coach Freeman says. And I think he's going to be his favorite target starting off. And then as the season progresses, I think he's going to naturally branch out and hit some of the other guys that develop along the way. But starting off, Jordan Faison, because he already has a rapport with him.
Is there a guy you think that's going to break out from that room?
This is going to sound strange, but I'm going to say Greathouse. If Greathouse stay healthy, I think he only had like 4 receptions last year for like 70-something yards, and then he got hurt. Greathouse has shown us when he's fully healthy and locked in, look what he did in the playoff run. And so I think with him coming, I think he's going to probably emerge a favorite as well.
Saying right to you, CB, who's the guy who you think is going to be CJ Carr's favorite target?
I hate I hate to do it, but again, I do agree that it's Jordan Faison. Again, he's played with him, 49 receptions, 640 yards last year. And like you said, he dedicated most of his time to football now. Not like it probably made that big of a difference, but I think that it like you kind of noticed it last year as time went on. He started throwing more to Malachi Fields toward the end.
Yeah.
And the guy from Wisconsin, I can't think of his name, but he started hitting those guys more. So I think Brandon was right on target with Faison starting off. But I think Micah Gilbert will be the surprise this year. From what I've been reading, that he's had one of the best like springs and summers.
Yeah, Will Pauling. Thank you for that, Drunk Vigo. Will Pauling
right.
was a monster.
Yes,
and Time said it's going to be Cooper Flanagan.
Cooper, nice.
Yes, sir. Man, that is crazy, man. Are you not entertained, people?
Yes.
Bro, so wide receivers is crazy because I know we got some shiny new toys from Ohio State that Freeman recruited himself to get over to Notre Dame, and I really like those guys. Those guys are super talented. But man, guys, I just keep thinking back to that 2024 national championship run and those plays that Greathouse was making, man, against Penn State and Ohio State.
Where's that been? Like, I mean, obviously he was hurt last year, but
yeah,
he's got the potential to go off.
And shout out to Duke, man, because I remember years ago, me and him calling our shots, and he called his shot on Greathouse. I called my shot on, what's the dude's name, man? He disappeared once he left Notre Dame.
Rico Flores.
Rico Flores. I called my shot on Rico, and it really looked good because that year he led the team in receptions. But then he transfers out, and Greathouse has a run like that. Fellas, I think if Greathouse can stay healthy, which he needs to prove he can, he's going to be a monster.
I mean, the man could take over a game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like that, to me, if we can just get him in sync with Carr, with an elite passer, more time in system, he looks stronger. He looks more explosive from the tape I've been watching in camp. I mean, He's one of those guys. He has that Klay Thompson, uh, 37 points in a quarter type of ability where he'll just take over. I mean, I think his first spring game, didn't he have like 11 receptions, like 100 yards? Was that Hartman that was throwing it to him as a true freshman, like from Texas? He was already mature.
Yeah.
Great House is my guy if he stay healthy.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Shout out to Time back in the chat. He said, "Hey guys, keep an eye out for Jonas Walton." Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A lot of good news coming out of camp about Jonas. That's a really good one. And Rube said, "I'm hyped up." Yes, sir. We super hyped.
Man.
We hyped with you, man. We gonna have to take it back to high school and start playing some Little John. You dig? Straight up. Okay, so guys, we've been through the quarterback position, running back, wideouts, and not tight ends, but let's get to the tight ends. And I'm gonna start with you on this here, Duke or CB. My bad, I forgot the order. But who's gonna be the guy or guys in the tight end room?
Flanagan and Flanagan. I think these dudes are gonna pop off. Like he said in the chat, keep an eye on him because we always go to tight ends, and Carr wasn't shy about going to tight end last year. So we're still tight end you. We're still gonna be tight end you.
100%. Duke, what you got on the tight end room, homie?
I'm really big on Ian Premier. You know, when our offensive coordinator says that he's a freak of nature and he's already, dominating reps and doing things like that, it's just hard for me to not be focused on him. I think it's going to be similar to the Michael Mayer and Tommy Tremble 1-2 punch. I think Flanagan, because he's such a great blocker. He can seal the edge. He's going to help out with the run game, and he also can receive. And then, boom, you got that elite playmaker Ian Premier. That 1-2 punch. I'm really liking them too.
What you got, CB? Are you already went?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I like the Flanagans. I love the Flanagans. I think they're gonna make a lot of plays. But we forgot about Ty Washington. I think Ty Washington is gonna mix in there and make a few plays too. But I think once we get further and further along the season, I think Ian Premier is just gonna take over, man. That's the number one tight end in the nation. That guy, it was comparisons to him and Brock Bowers, bro. Like, really.
Did you see his basketball film?
I saw him on YouTube dunking on people, bro. I saw the light, man.
I'm like, what?
I just, man, I don't see how you keep a talent like that off the field, man. I just don't see it. Who else wants some of Debo? Let's move on.
Who else wants some of Premier?
Who else wants some of Premier? Yes. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Time. He said Coop. He said Notre Dame is known for throwing to the tight ends. And then Ruben back in the chat, he said, you remember when the Irish came back and won the Bourbon Bowl? Yes, indeed.
I do.
And shout out to Time. He said, when you have two-headed monster of a tight end and a solid offensive line, you're okay in my book. That really helps the pass rush, and those are helps against the pass rush. I think he meant to say. For sure. I agree with all that. So, guys, man, what do you think about the offensive line, Duke? And I'm gonna start with you.
He's stunned.
Did he?
He was thinking.
Hey, the video skipped, so I didn't. When he said I'm gonna start off, and then it skipped. I didn't know. I was like, oh, I hope he says TV. Can you please re-ask that question, man?
Yeah, I got you, dog. What do you think of Notre Dame's offensive line, man? What are your expectations for the old line?
When you hear the coaching staff, um, when you hear the coaching staff rave about our offensive line and the depth, I think it's going to be even better than last year's.
Oh yeah.
And that's not even including Jagasaw. And so they're saying Anthony Knack, he's drawing comparisons to Zach Martin at the guard position.
Wow.
It can't get any better than that. I'm very excited about Will Black at the left tackle position. Gilby Lambert at the right tackle position. You got two elite 5-star bookends, both 6'7", 6'8". I mean, this is I'm so ready for the season to start. Let me let CB cook, man, because I'm hyped right now. It's
No,
crazy.
I mean, I don't really have much to say other than I think they should be one of the top 10 offensive lines in the country. I mean, well, as long as they can stay healthy, that goes for every position. As long as we can stay healthy, because it's a long season, we should be barbecuing everybody. But I
Yeah.
I do think that I don't have like the deep knowledge like Brandon does on this, but on paper, I think that they do have one of the top 10 lines in the nation.
Yeah. I think they're going to have a top 3 offensive line in the nation. I
For
think they'll
sure.
be in the top 3. Yeah, and you know what's so crazy about this offensive line? It's mega talented, and their best offensive lineman may not even play this year. That's the crazy. They saying Jaggers. They think of Jagasaw with the names of the top offensive linemen that's come through Notre Dame in the last 20 years. That's how high they think of Charles Jagasaw. Uh, Shout out to Time in the chat. He said Notre Dame always have a solid offensive line. Always, already. He said, and they don't have any seniors. They have all young offensive linemen this year. Notre Dame always have a solid offensive lineman. And then he said, uh, that's crazy if their best offensive lineman is not playing. Yeah, man. I mean, Charles Jagasaw, look at that Penn State game back in 24 in the playoffs. You
Mm.
remember how Notre Dame's offense couldn't do anything in the first half? Then they insert Charles Jagasaw in the second half, and all of a sudden, Love is running through holes, giant holes. Price is running through giant holes, Aeneas Williams. So that dude's a difference maker. And I'm only thing I can hope is that he gets himself healthy and back to where he can play football, man, because that dude is an absolute stud.
Mhm.
Any closing thoughts on the O line, fellas?
We just have an embarrassment of riches on that offensive line. Even though we've historically been great on the line, it's even crazier that I think we're even better than
Yeah,
historically.
I would
That's
agree
the
to that.
crazy part. I mean, we have literally almost all 5 stars across the board.
Yeah,
What other team can say that?
yeah. You got anything else on the O line, CB?
Nah, I'm good.
Hey, that's Jagasaw said when he came in the playoffs. Man, as soon as he said, "Who wants more Debo?"
Hey, he said that to Abdul Carter, man.
Man, Abdul Carter ain't in right sense. Straight up.
For sure, man. Shout out the Time, man. He said Notre Dame going to be dangerous. They didn't have that many seniors last year on the offense. Let me tell y'all something about Notre Dame's roster, period, and especially on defense as we get into the defensive line, right? All our starters and contributors played in that national championship game run. The whole play, all those guys contributed in that playoff. And all those guys are going to be starters or major contributors this year. I think they returned like 90% of their production, if I'm not mistaken. And I got the stats pulled up. But shout out to Ruben Blad, man. He said it should be a great line. And then artistically incredible. What a name. Says, sup, fellas. How do y'all feel about BYU game? It could be the biggest game for BYU in a long time. We're going to get to the schedule. Stay with us. Stay tuned. Stay locked in.
I was ready to go off too.
We gonna get into the schedule. I know you ready. I know you itching, but we got to get to these rooms, man. We got to finish out the defensive rooms, and we can get to the schedule. Defensive line. I'm gonna start with you, CB. What do you? We know they win the transfer portal. They got Tion Gray and Francis Brew. I think Francis Brew is gonna be an absolute stud. But what do you make of the defensive line, and how good can they be this upcoming season?
I think from what I've read, Francis Brew, they said that he came in and he's already a leader. And then didn't he come to Notre Dame to be with the coach because that dude came from the Colts or something like that? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. But he wanted to play for that coach. So
Charlie Partridge recruited him to Pittsburgh.
Yep, that's right. So, but yeah, him and Keon Keeley too. I know he didn't like shine at Alabama, but he's still a big body, man. And if he comes here and puts in the work, I feel like their defensive line is just dumb. Like they're the type of team when you play NCAA, you want to be the end, so because you can just rush because ain't nobody gonna stop them.
Yeah, I remember doing that with Freeney and Mathis back in the day in Madden.
Carlos Dunlap.
Oh man, from Florida, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Duke, what you got on the D line? What's your expectations, man? How good can they be?
Out of every position group, I'm most excited about the D line. You can't win a national championship without a dominant D line. When you do your homework, you'll see the Georgia teams, the Alabama teams, often the teams that's having multiple first round picks on the D line. And if we can unlock, Boubacar is already headed to the first round. All he has to do is just put in the work. But then you combine Bryce Young and Keon Keeley in the rotation with Anya and Brewu, we have monsters. Monsters. Our twos and threes are monsters. And then when you hear reports about a freshmen coming in and taking over reps and making impact plays, I'm so excited about the defensive line is probably going to be the reason we win a national championship outside of CJ Carr.
Facts. Shout out to Time. He said, I believe that defense is going to be flying. Notre Dame's defense is going to be flying around 1,000%. That defense, I mean, again, all that those guys were making plays throughout the playoffs in 2024 and in the national championship. This is their team now. They were asked to step up young. A lot of those guys, first, second year players back then. This is their team. Think about all the experience they have through the years, making it to the national championship, being left out the playoffs after running off 10 straight. Bro, this defense is going to be super scary. Rube said, I thought Freeman said he would be back on the line. Who you talking about, bro? Let us know who you talking about. Y'all got anything else on the defensive line?
No, it's gonna be stupid.
Nah, man. I think we have multiple first rounders in rotation. I think we're gonna be great.
Ooh-wee.
Hey, when was the last time we had our first rounder on the D line?
Ooh,
Man.
I'll look that up. Bryant Young.
Bro, are you kidding me?
Corey Minor.
Yeah,
was it Tuck?
Tuck was like,
you said first rounder. You said first round.
I don't know if he was he first round?
You said
Tuck was first round. Yeah,
okay.
When was the last time we got a first round pick on the D line? Foskey wasn't, Tuck wasn't.
I'm thinking about Brian Young, like CB said, man.
It got to be Brian Young.
Wow.
Ronaldo win. No. Yeah, Ronaldo win. 97. Tuitt was second round, and Okwara was third round.
Unbelievable. Let's talk about the linebackers, fellas. What do y'all think? I'm gonna start with you, Duke. What do you think about the linebacking core at Notre Dame?
Man, again, so much incredible depth. I mean, Coach Freeman has turned. I mean, I'm gonna go off on a limb and just say we're about to be linebacker you. Period. I think Kingston, from a talent perspective, probably the most talented linebacker in the country because not only he can cover sideline to sideline, but he can rush the passer like an edge rusher. You
Yeah,
know, and so when you got guys like that, and then of course Big Bowen, the leader, the heart and soul. I mean, you combine him. We still got Sneed, who is a five-star athlete in himself. I think he has something to prove. Osbury, they said he going off, but the one I'm very, very excited about is Madden Faremo. They said he is annihilating people in camp. I mean, again, we probably have a couple first, second rounders just in that core group. I think Kingston is a first rounder.
yeah, I
That's
agree
my
with
take.
that. I agree with that, man. And you know, I think Osbury and Snead are so overlooked because
Mm,
those it's just so much talent and all those guys are I think our six deep, all of them are gonna play in the NFL. I really believe that.
yeah,
CB, what you
yeah.
got on the LBs, man?
I've I was listening to a podcast. They said that all like most of Notre Dame is like not starters too deep. They're all projected to be picks in round 1 through 3. Like if that's true, like it's
That's
stupid.
insane.
So, but no, I think, um, yeah, I think Bowen has that experience in the national championship game. And being a linebacker, you got to be it's safety too, but you got to be the quarterback on the field. Um, but yeah, the videos I've seen, he's always in people's faces, like getting everybody working out and all that. But I think that the linebacking group is the best in the nation. My top three are Notre Dame, Texas, and Texas Tech in that order.
Ooh, I like Texas with Biles as well, but I would have to go with Notre Dame. I think defensive line, I'm gonna give a slight edge to Oregon. Linebackers and DBs, I'm giving to Notre Dame in the country. But
Yeah.
let's get to that DB room, CB. I mean, do we even really need to? We got to for the
Mm.
for the fans, but let's talk about the DB room, man. What are
I
your
mean,
expectations for that DB room?
it's so nice because for I want to say early 2000s up until probably 2019 ish, like I was always like, man, the secondary just garbage. Like we'd have like one good defensive end, but it didn't matter because our secondary was bad. And I think it was like Kelly's last year, like, okay, like we're not bad at secondary. And then now it's like, I feel like we're, up there with some of the best in the country. Like obviously Leonard Moore, one of the best in the country, and Adon Schuler. But again, like you're going to get pressure up the middle. You're going to get pressure from the edge. Like their jobs are going to be made easy. I mean, they will get tested obviously, but, um, I do think that Leonard Moore is the best, and even Jeremiah Smith said Leonard Moore was the hardest guy ever to cover him. So if we're pointing at looking at comparisons to NFL type talent, but yeah, so that's my take on the DB room. Not much, but we're still solid, and it feels good to like all right, like not worry about the defensive back so much anymore.
Yeah, because we've been picked, bro. You gotta think about it. If everybody's seen the thumbnail, Coach Weiss, Coach Willingham, Brian Kelly, and Bob Davy are standing up against the wall watching Freeman give his speech. That symbolizes our lifespan as Notre Dame,
Mhm.
fans because when we were little tiny kids, probably barely even knowing what football was, it was Davy. Then it
Yeah.
was Willingham. Then it was
Yes.
yeah, it's so on and so forth. But we're also used to the DBs getting barbecued every Saturday.
They
So
were always a
it's
liability.
bro, it's a beautiful thing to
Yeah.
see how this
To not worry
secondary
about it.
facts. What you got on the DBs, Duke?
Um, Leonard Moore is I'll say the two best players in college football is Jeremiah Smith and Leonard Moore, 1A, 1B. So, no need to go into more. Um, I want to see us unlock McKinney. McKinney is a freak of nature. From what I've been hearing, if we fully unlock him in terms of him understanding the playbook and the technique, they're saying he's a first round pick. So think about this. We're going to have two first round picks at the exterior. And then we can finally put Christian Gray where he's best at, which is the nickel. And we potentially got two first round picks, maybe a second, third round at Gray. I mean, good Lord, are we going safety too, or are we just doing DB?
Yeah, safeties too.
I mean, Tay Johnson, Bronte Johnson, to me is the best free safety in college football. Aiden Schuler is kind of like Drake Bowen of the safeties, leader. You know what I'm saying? And getting everybody aligned. He's the heart and soul. I mean, we by far have the best defensive back room in college football. It's not close. Our backups will start for most teams.
Yeah. You got anything else to add to that, CB?
Nah, he's killing.
No doubt, no doubt. Man, we already talked about Notre Dame's independence off script, so I'm not gonna bring that up. We're gonna hop on to the schedule before we get up out of here, man. And y'all see it on the screen. Wisconsin, September 6th. Is that a win, fellas? And why?
Oh yeah, we about to cook
I
them.
I think we'll win, but I think it'll be tougher than what we think it would be, like, or what a lot of people think it would be. Like, I'm not saying it's gonna be like 24-17, but like, like, I feel like there's gonna be some bumps, and like, I feel like Wisconsin should be a little bit better than last year. I know they weren't very good, but I think that it'll be a tougher game. But I'm not worried about it, but I do think it'll be like, hey, what's going on here? For a little, like, for maybe the first quarter, just the jitters and all that. But I'm not too worried about that game.
You got anything else on Wisconsin, Duke?
I agree. I mean, I think we're gonna win comfortably.
Got you. I also think we're gonna win comfortably. Rice. I mean, we got to, because if I say should we talk about this, I would have said the same thing about Northern Illinois last year. But what's going to happen September 12th, fellas?
Win. That's not even gonna be. That's the home opener.
Yes, sir.
That's
Oh,
what.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, we gonna be cooking some rice. That's the
Rice,
game of the season.
Rice
It's gonna be rice aroni.
What about Michigan State, September 19th, fellas?
Not worried. I think Michigan State might be good in a couple years, but I don't think they're gonna have it this year. Fitzpatrick is a good coach, because I mean, he always gave Notre Dame in the Brian Kelly era tough games with Northwestern with less talent, but I do think that obviously it's gonna be a win, but they're gonna be better. They'll be better, but I'm not worried.
Yeah, facts time. I agree. So at Purdue, anything to see here?
60-0.
I got six.
You can start.
Go ahead.
You can start doing something in the middle of the third quarter, like, and just keep walking in and out of the room. You don't need to sit down and watch the whole game.
Oh yeah, yeah. We gonna take that big drum home with us. We're gonna beat them so bad.
Yeah, man. That stadium gonna be bare.
Or all Notre Dame fans.
Yeah. So at NC, man, they traveled to Chapel Hill on my daughter's birthday, October 3rd. Bill Belichick got anything?
No,
No.
not enough talent.
Funeral music.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're an embarrassment. No.
Yeah.
I haven't really paid much attention to them. I mean, I think if the only reason this game is close is because Bill Belichick's got something up his sleeve, but I think talent's gonna take over in that game.
For sure. Stanford, October 10th.
Win.
Man,
When now
he's.
this. Go ahead. Go ahead, dude.
Oh
You
no, I
said
was saying easy money, easy money.
He
easy
hates
money.
Stanford. No.
Stanford was playing a little dirty last year, that last
Yeah.
game of the season. So
Yeah, man.
I hope they
It's
barbecue their ass too.
Man, when
real quick,
when
like,
he put that knee in Love's ribs, man.
yeah, because I was hoping he was gonna go off for like 300 yards and win the Heisman, and then he
Yeah.
did that, and I'm like, he ain't even
Yeah.
gonna play.
Yeah.
But it's crazy to like go back to like thinking about like when Stanford had Shaw and Harbaugh, like how
Yep.
good they were, and like you look at it now and like they barely look like they put 100 people in stands. It's wild.
Bro, this is why I can't stand these idiots who just say, oh, Notre Dame has a soft schedule. Bro, look at these teams. There was a point where the majority of these teams on this schedule were elite, and they probably were elite when they made this damn
Yeah.
schedule.
Uh-uh.
But October 17th, fellas, now this is where, the competition rises, because me personally, I think BYU is going to win the Big 12 this year. So Notre Dame travels to Provo to play BYU. We got this game because USC snaked their way out of the schedule. So what do you guys think is going to happen at Provo?
I trust Marcus Freeman in big games. I think back to the Texas A&M game a couple of years ago, hostile territory, night game. This is where Freeman shines. We're going to be mentally tough as long as we're healthy and CJ Carr is upright. I think the game is going to be too big for BYU. We about to stimulate their economy. They about to they straight up. We about to bring in the most money. Where they in the state of Utah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody gonna know where BYU play at because we about to play them.
Yeah.
So we giving them a stimulus package. Be ready for that game. I say dub.
I don't know. Like I'm not worried about BYU. Like
Mhm.
I don't think their quarterback is that good. Like I'm watching him play, like he's more of like a running back that can pass. I don't
Is
know,
it
and
Backfire?
that's a
Is
very
it,
small sample size that I saw. So if I could be completely wrong, but I was just like, what? I mean, I don't know. I'm not worried because by then we'll have what 5-6 games under our belt, and usually we're gelling by this time. So again, and they'll be up because this is a big game, and I'm assuming BYU will be ranked by then, or will
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
they're
think
tough.
BYU. Go ahead.
Oh no, my bad, bro. No, they're a tough team. So I don't want to disrespect them. They're gonna play hard, but talent. It goes back to the talent. I mean, their best player, I think, is their run back. I forgot his name, but
LJ Martin.
LJ Martin. Yeah, he nice, but just like CB said, man, the quarterback is a Bachmeyer, right? Is it
Yep.
Bear Bachmeyer?
Bear Brockmeyer.
Yeah, man.
And
I don't.
they're preseason number 15. BYU.
Well, got to
Yeah,
put him on a resume, man. What
yeah.
what Navy, October 31st. What y'all got, man? I think a lot of people, they don't realize how tough Navy is to prepare for. And Navy can pop you if you're not ready for that offense that they bring. What do y'all think happens October 31st?
Again, I go back to talent. I mean, even if it's a tough game, like the Charlie Weiss era and Brian Kelly era, I feel like they used to struggle with Navy because in my mind, I'm like they're not that good, and then we're like, why are we tied going into halftime, or why are we down? But I don't feel that way anymore, and I'm not worried about Navy. They are again, like you said, tough to prepare for, but they're one dimensional. So if you stop the run, you force them to pass. We got the best secondary in the country. Try it.
Yeah.
As long as we take them serious, it'll be an easy dub.
Yeah.
It's when we don't. That's when they sneak up on you and beat you. So again, I don't see Marcus Freeman taking his eyes off the prize.
I'm with it. How about now? Now this the game everybody waiting on. and preparing for. I heard a lot of people say this might be for the number one overall ranking in the polls come November 7th. This is where our secondary is going to be really tested with Malachi Tony and Cooper Barkate. What do y'all got happening at home against Miami?
You got it. Go ahead.
I mean, the motivation, all of the banter. One thing I got to take it back to the excellence of Marcus Freeman. He thrives in these types of moments. All of the chatter, all of the talking. This is probably going to be a career defining game. It's a legacy game.
That's a good point.
And yeah, and seeing how he got a team ready for the playoffs a few years ago, big time games like this. To me, this is where Marcus Freeman is most comfortable. And I think the team is going to exude his personality in that game, and we're going to win because we're going to want it more than them because we've been getting disrespected by the Miami fan base since we lost. So I say we win by at least by 14.
Whoa.
I hope we put up 100 on Miami. Like I hope it's like Stanford, but they just keep the starters in like the whole time. That the way everything ended, and I just didn't think even last year Miami was that good, and then they go to the national championship, and I'm like, all right, this blows my take on it. But I don't think they're as good as last year, or they only beat us by 4, and that was like Carr's first game on the road. Like I hope it's like 10 degrees out, snowing, because them Florida boys are gonna be. You seen when Florida State and anybody else comes up here and they're like, you see them like that. Like I'm not. I'll be honest, I'm not worried about that game.
Shout out to Artistically Incredible. He said college game day will probably be there that day.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, CB.
I was going to say they have them. They already have that as like on the list of top games of the year.
Hey, Time said, what is a stimulus?
Man, they about to make so much money off of us being there. They gonna inflate all the prices at the bars, the hotels, the restaurants.
They're gonna promote generational wealth.
Yes. They're gonna start charging people to use restrooms.
They're gonna charge for everything.
Yeah.
Now here it gets a little tricky because I feel like this is a trap game between Miami and SMU. We got Boston College November 14th. They played us tough last year in the first half, but then we took over in the second. What y'all think about this BC game?
I don't see anything really any different. Like the last time they came to Notre Dame, it was you could barely see the players. There's so much snow, and we just belts to ass. So it's like, why? I don't think it's gonna be any different this time. It's gonna be like playing Stanford again.
Pretty much. Yeah. And we're gonna be at home this time too.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's late November.
Oh yeah. Another dub.
How about SMU? SMU comes to town the following week. Kevin Jennings at quarterback, Rhett Lashley at coach. What do y'all think happens in this game?
If there's a trap game, it's this one. If there's a trap game, it's this one. They represent ACC. They're gonna come in with a lot of pride, especially when we beat Miami. They're gonna have the pride of the ACC on their backs. We got to watch the officiating, but that could be a trap game. I still think we're gonna win, but that's gonna be one of those teams where I'm like, all right, after the first quarter, I want us to be comfortable, and then we kind of ride away with it.
Yeah, I would agree that if there is a trap game, it's that, but it's at home. I'm not, and their SMU is Dallas, so again, late November. More than likely, the weather's gonna be shitty. So again, I'm not too threatened by it. I even doubt they'll be ranked by then.
How about at Syracuse, final game of the regular season against Steve Angeli, fellas? Angeli's been looking good when healthy at Syracuse. What do y'all got happening in this matchup?
40-0.
Yeah. And look, when you don't have the defensive line, the offensive line, you win the game in the trenches.
Yeah.
So no matter what Angeli do, if you ain't got the hogs up front to control the line of scrimmage, there's nothing he can do.
I agree. Shout out to Artistically Incredible. We appreciate you, man. He said, yeah, us people from Texas don't do well in the weather. That's for sure. So
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's funny.
CB.
I went to Houston a couple years ago, and it was like, I think it was December, and I didn't have a jacket on. I just had a hoodie on, and everybody else was all bundled up in jackets, and they're like, you from the north? I'm like, yeah. They're like, this don't bother me.
Yeah. And you know, one thing to think about, Miami doesn't win at Notre Dame Stadium. They just don't historically. Notre Dame historically doesn't win at Miami. So that's something to think about. So we got Notre Dame going undefeated.
I do.
Yeah. Yep.
Notre
Yes,
Dame
sir.
will be undefeated this year.
Miami is 1-8 at Notre Dame.
Pitiful. What do y'all say to people who claim Notre Dame has a soft schedule?
Again, it's just more cope. They need to find excuses to justify their hatred for Notre Dame being independent because there's no out. Teams have been manipulating schedules and fixing it to get to the postseason forever. And so we have a commitment with the ACC. I think, but we played like 6 games.
Yeah.
You know,
and they choose the 6 teams.
They choose the 6 teams.
Is it Notre Dame's fault that the teams in the ACC suck? No.
Exactly.
Like, why is
It's
it Notre
not.
Dame's fault?
It's not.
Talk to them.
You know,
Tell
so
them
I
to
don't.
tell them to join a conference. They do, and then it's like, oh, you play in the Wake Forest. Like, that's their fault. Like, do you think the SEC would be like, hey Notre Dame, come, you can play us. You play 6 teams. Those teams don't want to play Notre Dame in a out of conference schedule.
Yeah.
Facts, man.
Well, man, this has been really fun. It has been a pleasure, man, and I am so thankful to these 2 gentlemen for coming to the post and rocking with the homie, man. Anytime y'all want to come cook, y'all more than welcome. I would love to have y'all on more, but I know we all got busy schedules and different lives, so it's all good. Duke, you got anything on the way out you want to mention?
I'm just gonna say, man, shout out to Coach Freeman for making Notre Dame cool again.
Yeah.
You know, we're diehard fans, so we're gonna rock regardless. But the way he's elevated this program in the mainstream, he's made Notre Dame cool again, and that's the name of the game. NIL, TV contracts, marketing. We got the new facilities. You know, we finally get to live out our dreams as Notre Dame fans to see us win a championship as adults. It's only a matter of time. If it's not this year, it's going to be the next year. I say we at least get 1 or 2 in the next 5. That's my take.
Already. What you got before we get up out of here, CB?
Nah, I just say that this is the first year in a long time that I can say, like, I expect to win a national championship this season. Like, in the past, it's always been like, we got a shot, you know, if we play well, or, you know, we don't start slow, or, you know, the Brian Kelly teams show up with, you know, deer in headlights, you know, those type of things. Like, if those things don't happen, we got a shot. But, like, top to bottom, this is the most complete team we've had since I can remember. So I'm just really looking forward to the season. And like I said, I'm not worried about the schedule. Like you said, just win your games and everything will play out the way it's supposed to.
Man, I appreciate y'all, but we about to get up out of here. For Duke, for CB, and myself, Postgame Sports, we out of here. Peace.
Low post, mid post, high post. Postgame Sports.